Greetings and welcome to another Pokémon Horizons series anime episode preview discussion. This time I'm talking about the preview for episode 82, so let's get to it. In this episode, it's out of the fire, literally, and into the frying pan for Liko and company. Since fresh out of a tough battle with Gouging Fire, they are forced into yet another intense showdown. This time with the big boss itself, Rayquaza, who conveniently showed up right after Gouging Fire joined Liko and friends. Or perhaps it would be more accurate to say that it was summoned by the gathering of every other hero and Pagogo. In any case, regardless of what brought it here, Liko and friends will have to, as always, battle it with the intention of proving themselves so that they can get it to join them. Since the starters and Cap are all exhausted and hurt from the battle with Gouging Fire, battling Rayquaza will be an all-hands-on-deck affair, with Hatrim, Tinkatuff, Kilowattrel, and the Charizard joining the fray. Heck, even Pagogo will help, in its terrestrial form no less, greatly improving the odds that Liko and company will win. Which takes us to the ever-present question of who will win. I'll tell you this first, regardless of the outcome of the battle, Rayquaza is not getting away this time. It will finally join the team, meaning that all the heroes will finally be together. Why am I so certain that this will be the case? Well, because we already know the titles of episodes 83 to 86. The title of episode 85 is Arrival, the Paradise of Laqua, which means that Liko and company will finally reach the fabled location very soon, and they can only accomplish this if they have all 6 heroes. Therefore, it's safe to say that Rayquaza's days of roaming around are over. At worst, it will join the team after this episode, but before episode 85. Meaning it could happen in episodes 83 or 84, but let's face it, it's very unlikely it will happen in these 2 episodes given the titles. Plus, episode 82 will clearly feature a climactic all-out battle that can only lead to one result. So Rayquaza is joining the team in this episode. Of this, I have no doubts. Of course, we know that to accomplish this, Liko and company don't need to actually defeat Rayquaza. Therefore, the question of who will win is still very much relevant. I would like to say with 100% confidence that Liko and company will win. After all, it's 4 trainers and 9 Pokemon, one of them being a legendary versus Rayquaza. The odds are stacked in Liko and company's favor tremendously. In fact, I would argue they've never had a better chance at defeating a hero than now. Since they are the strongest they've ever been, never before have they used both of their Pokemon at once except for Freed, and he was not there for every hero battle, nor did they have Pokemon that are fully evolved in the case of Kilowattrel, and in their second stage of evolution in the case of everyone else. They battled Arboliva, Moltres, and Lapras with fully unevolved Pokemon. Plus, they now have Pagogo lending a hand, which I have to say is unusual since Pagogo doesn't intervene in hero battles, except when it's against Rayquaza, which is interesting. However, while this is the best Liko and company have ever been, and this is by far and away their greatest show of power, their victory is not certain. Why? Well, because their opponent is just that strong. If it was against any other hero in this same scenario, they would win for sure. But since they are facing none other than Rayquaza, it's possible that even all this firepower is insufficient. Rayquaza is on a league of its own. While it's a legendary Pokemon just like Moltres and Entei and Gouging Fire, who is basically a legendary too, they do not hold a candle to the sky-high Pokemon. If we go by stats, Entei and Moltres share the same base stat total of 580, while Gouging Fire is slightly stronger at a base stat total of 590. Rayquaza, however, sits at a whopping 680 base stat total, 100 more than Entei and Moltres, and 90 more than Gouging Fire. Rayquaza is significantly stronger than all of them. In fact, it is among the strongest Pokemon overall. Only 7 Pokemon are above 680, and one of these 7 is the literal god of Pokemon. 2 of them are fusions between 2 legendary Pokemon, with one of the 2 being at 680. 2 of them need an item in order to transform into their strongest form. Another one is not even from this world, and the last one is Terapagos, but only in its 3rd and final form, its stellar form. In its terrestrial form, which is as high as it will go in this episode, as far as we know, its base stat total is 600. Better than every other hero, sure, but still not higher than Rayquaza. So will sheer numbers be enough to overcome such a fearsome opponent? It's possible, of course, but not certain. Pagogo does tilt the odds further in Liko and company's favor. If it was only the other 8, I would probably question their chances to win even more. Speaking of Terapagos lending a hand, this is interesting as I mentioned earlier. Why does Pagogo only intervene when Rayquaza is involved? Well, maybe it's their bond. Since Rayquaza was the first hero, Pagogo has known it the longest. So perhaps their bond is so powerful, they are such great friends, that Pagogo cannot help but want to deal with it personally. Alternatively, it's possible that Pagogo recognizes just how strong Rayquaza is, and so it knows that if it does not help, things won't end well for Liko and company. Regardless of the reason, its assistance will be very much appreciated, I'm sure. Now, as always, type matchups can help with determining who could win a battle. Floragato is completely out of her element since Rayquaza has a double resistance to grass. Her non-grass type moves all hit Rayquaza for normal damage, and she is weak against flying. Quaxwell's water and fighting type moves are not very effective, and his other moves hit Rayquaza for normal damage, but he is not at a type disadvantage. Crocalor's fire-type moves are not very effective, and Rayquaza is immune to Stomping Tantrum, but at least he has Disarming Voice, which is super effective, and he is not at a type disadvantage. Hattrem would be perfect for this battle if she was fully evolved and knew a fairy-type move, but at least she is not at a disadvantage and her moves hit Rayquaza for normal damage. Kilowattrel's moves all hit Rayquaza for normal damage, and it is not at a type disadvantage. Tinkatuff is probably one of the greatest assets Liko and company have for this battle, since she is immune to Dragon and can provide a stab boosted play rough to deal some serious damage to Rayquaza. Charizard has Dragon Pulse to deal some good damage, and it is not at a type disadvantage. But Flamethrower won't be effective, and its other moves all hit Rayquaza for normal damage. All of Cap's moves hit Rayquaza for normal damage, and he is not at a type disadvantage. Finally, Pagogo is not at a type disadvantage, and its only known offensive move, Terra Starstorm, hits Rayquaza for normal damage. This would be a great time for Pagogo to reveal its other moves. Phew! That was a lot to go over, I know. Now, what does this all mean in short? Well, that Floragato will be in rough waters, while everyone else is either perfect for this battle, bringing a lot of positive things to the table and little to no negatives, or decent at least, bringing no or few positives and no negatives. So basically, based on typing, Liko and company do have a good shot at winning. Finally, could any of the Pokemon on Liko and company's side receive a power-up in this episode? which is to say a new move or evolution. It's possible since they will need all the help they can get against Rayquaza. Plus, facing such a powerful opponent is a great time to push past your limits. Moreover, we already saw Sprigatito and Pagogo evolve and learn a new move respectively the last time they battled Rayquaza. And the Quaxwell did learn Aqua Cutter during the battle with Gouging Fire, meaning that the other starters could also get a boost. They do deserve it, Crocalor especially since he hasn't learned a new move in a long time. In fact, seeing us battling, defeating, and catching Rayquaza is his and especially Roy's dream, I could definitely see Crocalor evolving in order to make said dream a reality. The fact that he is listed for this episode as terastalized on Bulbapedia, despite the fact that he just terastalized against Gouging Fire, tells me that something special will happen to him, especially seeing as the other starters are not listed as terastalized as well. Plus, considering that, like I said earlier, last time they faced Rayquaza, Sprigatito evolved and Pagogo learned a new move, I could see the reverse happening now, which would be fitting. Maybe Floragato learns a move super effective on Rayquaza, allowing her to contribute more to the battle. Pagogo is also worth mentioning here since it could assume its stellar form now that all the heroes are in one place. This form, again, is in fact stronger than even Rayquaza, so it would definitely shift the tide of the battle. Of course, at the end of the day, we won't know for sure what happens until the episode airs on January 31st. Needless to say, I absolutely cannot wait to watch it. It's definitely shaping up to be one heck of an episode. As always, I will review it after it airs, so please stay tuned for that. Now, I'm sure you're eager to check out some more of my videos, so go ahead and click the links on screen. Also, if you enjoy what I do and want to help me keep creating content like this, please consider supporting me directly through one of the links in the description below. Thank you so very much for watching and let's meet again in the next video.